What's going on, my guy? Back at it again, Lost and Found Dating Channel with another dating video for you guys this week. I want to say thank you guys for all the support thus far, all of the new subscribers. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the likes and the comments. Without further ado, let's dive into this week's video. What's going on, fellas? So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a topic that I think is pretty interesting, and that is wanting to pursue a woman whom you're intimidated by. Now, I think this is a pretty interesting topic, and it's one that isn't talked about by a lot of people out there, and at least not from the angle that I'm going to approach it. You know, often when we talk about a guy being intimidated by a woman, usually it has to do with her looks and how attractive he finds her. So if he looks at this woman and he finds her incredibly beautiful and she looks stunning, you know, just by the simple fact that she's very attractive to him, sometimes that intimidates guys. But I'm gonna be taking a little bit of a different approach for this video and talking about some other things that often intimidate guys when it comes to dating and pursuing women. So in this video, we're going to be talking about factors outside of physical attraction that can often intimidate a guy or make him feel apprehensive about pursuing a woman or asking her out or approaching her, some of those different things. Now, when it comes to a guy feeling intimidated or being apprehensive about pursuing a woman, you know, outside of the physical attraction thing, what I've found is that it can be for a variety of different reasons. Sometimes age is a factor, so if the woman is older than him, maybe that's something that intimidates him, or maybe it's different aspects of her personality. So maybe she comes across as very confident or very opinionated, very outspoken or very ambitious, very successful, or maybe just the way in which he looks at her and how he's seen her behave. He sees her as a woman who's pretty unapproachable as far as seeing other guys try to talk to her, try to approach her. So we're gonna dive into some of those different pieces in this video. Now, before I go into how some of those different things tend to intimidate guys, I wanna first start off by saying that those different qualities that I mentioned, you know, being confident, being outspoken, being ambitious, you know, willing to share your opinion, all those different, you know, personality traits, there's nothing wrong with a woman, you know, who possesses those traits. And I would even go beyond that to say that for me personally, those are things that I think are beneficial as far as a woman that I'm dating. You know, being confident, being outspoken, being ambitious, being, you know, willing to share her opinion and share her perspective and share her thoughts. Those aren't things that you should shy away from as far as, you know, being a guy and as far as things that you're looking for in a woman that you're dating. Things like being confident, being ambitious, being assertive, being willing to share your opinion, those are things that are positive qualities regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. So if a woman possessing those qualities intimidates you, make sure that you're doing your own sort of self-check and make sure you're looking at yourself and you're not just feeling threatened by her being confident or ambitious or successful or assertive or any of those things. Make sure you're not threatened by that because of your own, you know, self-esteem, and you feel like her having those traits threatens you and your value in some sort of way. So now that we've addressed that, let's say it's not an issue of your own self-esteem being threatened, but let's just say you're intimidated by this woman and the impression that you get from her. Now, as I mentioned, from my experience in dating women and talking with different guys, this can be for a variety of different reasons. So we're gonna go through some of those. So now that we've addressed that, let's say it's not an issue of your own self-esteem, feeling threatened, but you're just feeling intimidated by this woman and the impression that you get from her. So now I'm gonna go into a couple of the reasons why I think that tends to happen. So one of those reasons is age. So let's say the woman is significantly older than the guy. Sometimes in the guy's mind, you know, he interprets that as feeling like, okay, she's older than me, maybe she's a little bit more experienced as far as dating, Maybe she may have higher expectations when it comes to dating and relationships, or has more demands when it comes to the guy that she's dating as far as, someone closer to his age. So those are some things that could intimidate him as far as there being an age gap. Aside from age, the second one that we're gonna dive into is her personality based on kind of her career or profession that she has. When it comes to certain jobs or certain careers, sometimes people have assumptions about your personality based on your decision to go into that field or that career choice. For example, when you talk about military, when you talk about law enforcement, when you talk about fields like law or business, or maybe even politics, that's another one that you can throw into that realm. People tend to have assumptions about people who go into those fields. That being that maybe they're very serious, or they're very stoic, or they're very, no nonsense, very stern. Maybe they're very unemotional, or they don't really have a sense of humor, or that they can be unaffectionate, or very cold, or very distant, right? Those are sometimes assumptions that we make about people who go into some of those fields, like I mentioned, whether it's law enforcement or military or business or politics. People assume that your personality sometimes aligns with that very serious, very, non-joking type of personality. So sometimes, as an extension of that assumption, people assume that how someone behaves at their job or in the workplace is also going to look very similar to how they treat the person that they're dating and how they behave towards them. And the third factor, aside from age and just personality, characteristics, and traits, the third one I would say is unapproachability. And that comes into play, maybe this guy has seen this woman get approached before by other guys, and she comes across as very cold and very uninterested. Maybe she's seen her reject or turn down another guy, and based on how she did it or what she said or how she behaved, the guy sort of looks at that and determines that she's very unapproachable and probably not the kind of woman that he wants to approach and risk getting rejected by. So those are a few of the different factors about a woman that I've seen intimidate guys or cause them to be apprehensive about approaching her. So those are a few of the different factors about a woman that I've seen intimidate guys or cause them to be apprehensive about approaching her or pursuing her. In the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the different strategies and tips that I would recommend as far as overcoming that sense of apprehension and not feeling so intimidated by those different factors. So make sure you guys stay tuned. This is going to be kind of a two-part series on this topic, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Lost and Found Dating Channel signing out, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.